Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here and welcome to another edition of WWE Updates on TW 2016. You join us today. I believe we would be uploading this on the day of WrestleMania, so hopefully we had a good takeover last night and hopefully we have a good WrestleMania this evening. At this moment in time, I don't know what the complete card is. I'm recording this the night before Fastlane, so obviously we've still got a good 4 weeks to go until the showcase of the Immortals, so hopefully it's a good show tonight and hopefully this puts you into the mood for that. But tonight is Survivor Series on TW. We are booking a lot of big matches. We have 2 Elimination Chamber matches. We have a lot of kind of multi-person matches as well, emphasising on survival. And we're also booking this at Lansdowne Road in Ireland. Basically, the industry in the US is terrible at the moment. In game, the UK and Ireland is picking up. So if the industry continues to go the way it's going at the moment, I expect WrestleMania 2019, which I think is 35, if my calculations correct, that'll be at Wembley. So that's the aim. But a good show here. We have 4 pre-show matches. We've got a 30-segment show, a lot of hype videos. I think it's 11 or 12 matches as well, as we combine both Raw, SmackDown and ECW for this show. So it is the last dual brand, or tri-brand I believe in this case, pay-per-view. We have exclusives Armageddon and TLC before we head into 2019, the Rumble and the Road to Mania. So we'll crack on with the show. I hope you guys enjoy it. And of course at the end of the video, if you could let me know what you think, that would be absolutely fantastic. But hope you guys enjoy the show. Let's crack on with Survivor Series 2018. So we start the show with 30-person or 30-man Battle Royal. Just a lot of the mid-card and upper mid-carders who didn't make the initial show. Featuring the matchup, we have Aiden English, Arhos, Bobby Fish, Brian Cage, Caristico, Darren Young, Derek Carter, Enzo Amore, Gran Metalik, Harry Smith, Hideo Itami, Jack Evans, Jason Jordan, Jay Briscoe, Jay Lethal, Jeff Hardy, Johnny Gargano, Shibata, Kyle O'Reilly, Mr. Kennedy, Osamu Nishimura, Roderick Strong, Shane Strickland, Sheamus O'Shaughnessy, Tommaso Ciampa, Tomohiro Ishii, Tony Nese, Trent Beretta, Tyler Breeze, and Xavier Woods. So that's the kind of people who are getting appearances on Raws and SmackDowns, aren't quite getting the chances on pay-per-views, because they're not part of main storylines. But it was a pre-show bout that had decent wrestling, it didn't have much heat, and it was Jason Jordan who won the Battle Royal in 15:07, so a good push there for Jason Jordan. JJ with a win. The final 4 were Enzo Amore, Osamu Nishimura and Harry Smith, with Enzo being the unlucky final elimination. Harry Smith got the most eliminations in the match. That was a B-73. Gran Metalik has got a bad injury, that's why he's not been getting a mega push. Once he's over that, he'll be integrated properly into the Cruiserweight division, but we'll just kind of protect him until he's over that. But overall, a good match up there. A couple of improvements for skills. Obviously, with Battle Royal, you're going to get a lot of negatives and a good few positives as well. Second pre-show match was more of our upper mid-carders getting an opportunity in this type of environment. And it was a pre-show match that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. And it was the babyface team of Chad Gable, the Young Bucks, and the American Wolves, who defeated Wade Barrett, Drew Galloway, Cody Rhodes, Jinder Mahal and Kofi Kingston in 13:42, when Chad Gable defeated Kofi Kingston by pinfall. So B78, as I say, a lot of these guys want to push into the main event eventually. Obviously teasing a little storyline with Kofi going forward, so he's been picking up a few defeats recently. But an idea of who's our kind of mid-card, upper mid-card, that we want to push them into storylines going forward. So B78, we gave our male athletes that weren't in the main event a chance as well. And it was a pre-show match that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. And it was the heels in this time that win. It was Bray Wyatt, the Hate Empire, of course Marty Scurll and Jimmy Havoc and Gallows and Anderson. And they defeated Apollo Crews, Cesaro, Big E, Samoa Joe and Nino Diabano in 17:26, when Bray Wyatt defeated Apollo Crews with the standing senton splash. A B-76, a couple of good performances in there, most notably Big E, Cesaro and Bray. Apollo just didn't quite cut it at main event level, so I'm pushing him down the card a little bit, hopefully getting him back to IC level, and I feel that that's going to be the peak for him. Few skill improvements, but overall, fairly happy with that. And we decided in the pre-show to give our female athletes the main event of that, the ones that are not involved in title matches on the show. And it was a pre-show bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. And it saw the team of Paige, Sasha Banks, Melissa, Nia Jax, and Nicole Matthews beat Billie Kay, Ember Moon, Emma, Peyton Royce, and Aiko Ando in 13-19 when Sasha defeated Ikea by pinfall with the Wheelbarrow Bulldog. So at B-73, Sasha, of course, winning the War of the Women, so she is due a title shot down the line, but she performs best here. 81 performance there, so the best performance of the lot, showing that she is going to be a big force in the women's division going into 2019. So pretty happy with that. So we start the show, we've got a hype video that's hyping up our two singles matches of this evening. We've got Baron Corbin against the Undertaker, that's going to take place within a casket match. Baron Corbin got cleared from his injury, so this match is going to take place. We also have Seth Rollins against Triple H. Triple H has come back as an authority figure after being re-signed, and he's been nothing but a thorn in the side of Seth Rollins. So B+88 should go off to a strong start, and it got the crowd hotter. Must also stress we have many championship matches tonight, including both the WWE and the World Heavyweight Championship being contested under the Elimination Chamber, or inside I should say. With that being the case, I do believe we may have a poor rating because obviously it's within a structure, and sometimes chamber matches and cage matches don't get the greatest of ratings by not being technical matches, because a lot of these mods wrestlers don't want hardcore based matches. So we'll see, but as I say, it's this Elimination Chambers fit the Survivor Series mod, you know, the name of it is Survival. So I always try and make matches to go with that. So if we lose a couple of bits of pop, it don't matter, as long as it all makes sense and the booking makes sense going forward. So we get to our first match, which is going to be The Undertaker versus Baron Corbin to protect Taker. And the matchup had a great heat and decent wrestling, and Baron Corbin defeated The Undertaker in 8 minutes and 33 in a casket match when The Undertaker was trapped within a casket. So not a case of burying The Undertaker, it's just a case he can't go much longer. The C+70 gets Baron over, that's the main thing. He has to get his revenge victory. Taker's off his game, Taker's barely able to compete the match due to exhaustion, so I think what I'm probably going to do, unless I can think of a Mania plan for him, which I may have one more match for Taker at Mania and then write him off completely, because barely able to compete due to exhaustion, 56 performances to Corbin's 94, it's probably time to retire Taker. So I think more than likely Taker will return for one more match at WrestleMania. My question to you guys is, who is that final match going to be against? So any predictions, please leave that in the comments section below. Let's say Baron Corbin has written Taker off until WrestleMania season. So a good win there for Baron Corbin. Disappointingly, a C+70. And it just shows that he's still booking shorter matches, and that is an 8-minute match, which I was hoping would protect him. After the match, Baron Corbin just says, I stand before you as the man that's pretty much retired The Undertaker. I'm now going to go and set my sights on the championship. That is my plan. I'm going to dominate, and 2019 will be the year of Baron Corbin. I will be a world champion. So B+87 from Baron Corbin. Show got a little bit hotter with this, and Baron Corbin looked good. So Mr. Money in the Bank, of course, looking good on his return from injury. We then had the WWE World Tag Team Championships on the line, and it was about that had decent wrestling, didn't have much heat, got a lot of teams competing on the Raw brand for the championships. And it saw My Generation, Pete Dunne and Noam Dar defeat the Hype Bros, Mexicano Dis Lucha and the Revival in 1406 when Pete Dunne defeated Zack Ryder by pinfall, and the My Generation make the 5th defence of the World Tag Team titles. So good win for them, a C+71. A couple of good performances in there. Everybody's roughly about the 60 and 70 mark, apart from Zack. But overall, few skill improvements, and again, just building up this youth movement for a couple of guys we want to be the cornerstone of the company realistically. in 5-6 years. Booking decisions did hamper the rating a little bit. Flamita wanted protected, but no intention of putting the championships on them just as yet. Next up, Luke Harper attacks Chris Hero with a table, eventually putting him through it. Basically, Luke Harper was the former ECW World Champion, that's now Chris Hero. Chris Hero has been attacking Luke Harper frequently on ECW. The B-73 angle will basically be a lead-in to the match that is going to happen now. And it was a decent matchup, and it saw Chris Hero defeat Luke Harper in 13:45 while using the ropes for leverage, so he's gotten back from that early assault. He makes the second defence of the ECW World title. It's a C plus 67. Harper with a good performance. It's just a case of I probably will bring Luke back to Raw or SmackDown. He is isolated from a lot of the locker room on those particular brands because of CM Punk. If you've been following my Twitter account or if you've seen it on the Fantasy Booker subreddit, you know that Punk turned the locker room against Harper. But we had to protect Luke here, so that punished the match with the booking decisions, and the match was penalised because it was a hardcore type match and it wasn't meeting the crowd's expectations. But again, it's ECW, we are trying to bring that kind of hardcore element to that show, so C plus 67. Although I'll admit it is a bit of a booking development show as well, because we are bringing a lot of guys through there before they come to Raw or SmackDown, similar to ECW around about 2007-2008 with WWE. So that's the plan. And of course, they don't like being based in hardcore matches. Okay, next up and about we had for the newly returned European Championship. I just felt like on Raw, we're at a stage now where we've got a lot of wrestlers doing nothing. So you've got a couple going for the US title, a couple going for the World Heavyweight, and then there's this big gap. If you're not in the tag division, you're effectively doing nothing. So I thought, let's bring in the European Championship, give more guys the reason to fight. So it was a decent matchup with a little heat, and it saw AA Austin Aries continue his resurgent run of wins here by beating Adam Cole in 11:35 by pinfall with a 450 splash. The greatest man ever lived has become the champion of Europe. So C plus 70. Okay in-ring performances there. No negatives, so a good win there with Austin Aries as your new European champion, and hopefully we can build it up from zero prestige that it has. And after the matchup, AA celebrates, so the crowd go wild, AA celebrates to D minus 41. So that's a bit disappointing, that rating there. We then have a hype video for Asuka versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte winning a number one contenders match to challenge the champion Asuka. It's all about a battle of survival. Who will make their opponent more than likely tap out? Will it be the figure eight from Charlotte, or will Asuka make Charlotte tap out? It remains to be seen. As you can imagine, this card is mostly stacked with a lot of title matches. And in the end, in our first ever title defence, it was a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, and Asuka defeated Charlotte in 14:24 by submission with the Asuka Lock. It was our first defence of the SmackDown Women's Championship. A very good B82 considering no storyline attached to this, and this is two ladies with, as I say, a lot of momentum going into this matchup, some good performances. It makes you wonder, if these weren't booked as just a women's division, if they were integrated, could there possibly, with a storyline behind them, get them to an A matchup? It's just a shame it would just knock too much popularity and alienate too many fans away from our company should we make that change. So a B82, probably one of the best women's matches we've had, and as I say, we'll just keep improving and just hoping eventually we can get to a stage where we're above the rest of the competition, that we can go ahead and do that change to give women a chance to main event a pay-per-view. But good win for Asuka, nonetheless. Next up, it was the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. As I mentioned in the last video, King Neville won it on a SmackDown show. And it was about that, some decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. We also had some competitors from ECW get an opportunity here. But it saw King Neville defeat Drew Gulak, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, Manny Andrade, Ricochet and Will Ospreay in 15:05 when King Neville defeated Will Ospreay with a shooting star leg drop. It was the first defence of this reign for the King of the Cruiserweights Neville, B80. A lot of good performances in there. You see they're at a stage now, a lot of them are getting 66s. Ospreay will certainly get a lot more better performances when he gets over his injury. Neville's over, 84 in-ring performance. The guy's getting promos just under 90s as well. A couple of in-ring performances, but the king of the Cruiserweights remains King Neville. Next up, we had a storytelling match as we done with the WWE, and it was about to have decent wrestling. That didn't have much heat, and it was the team of Fire and Might, Becky Lynch and Dana Brooke, who defeated the huggable friends, we could say, AJ Lee and Bayley, in 12:29 when Dana Brooke defeated AJ Lee by pinfall with a Samoan driver. She also broke the internet with this type of win. So imagine if that happened in real life, shit would go down. But it was the sixth defence of the tag titles, the Shine Tag Team Championships, for Fire and Might. AJ Lee was the weak link here, because she's not really been pushed, I'll be honest. The whole thing with Punk and this has just pissed me off. So AJ doesn't really get used. The stats for Bayley, Charlotte, Becky, etc. are all far superior. But a B-77, a lot of good performances there. Becky will easily hit these out of the park with 80 performances when she's over her injury fully after WrestleMania. Dana's getting better and better, and that's why she's paired up with Becky. So overall, happy with that. B-77. They can only keep improving. Next up, it was some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. And it saw the Usos defeat the Detroit Machine Guns using their number one contendership from the tag team tournament we had. They won in 14:04 when GSO defeated Alex Shelley with an Ally Us. The Usos make their first defence since winning the tag titles. Sabin was a weak link. But a B82, solid with that. Everybody bringing 80 odd performances. Sabin with 71. That match was hampered because it was short, but it's a 5-hour show. We really can't be afford to be having teams more than 15-minute matches. Next up, and this one was disappointing because I feel like the ladies can do a lot better. But it was a good matchup and it had a decent reaction from our audience, and it saw Crazy Mary Dobson defeat Alexa Bliss in 17 minutes and 45 by pinfall. Crazy Mary Dobson becomes your WWE Women's Champion. So a B-75. The storyline did lose a bit of heat, but both ladies with very high 70 performances. Crazy Mary better at her gimmick. I say this feud's been going on and on. I wanted to make it a ladder match, but I felt with two chamber matches that make it a bit too gimmicky. So I decided after the match to just have Crazy Mary as the champion, attack Alexa Bliss with a ladder. Hinting at a rematch maybe. But a B-78, storyline continues, Crazy's getting better at her gimmick, which is of course being crazy. And yeah, a good win for her, and she's your new Raw Women's Champion. Next up, we're hyping up the matchup between Sami Zayn and Kenny Omega, a B-82 segment there. They're going to go in an Iron Man match. Kenny Omega's been obviously cocky and, over the fact that he is an Intercontinental Champion. He says he's the best wrestler on the planet. Sami Zayn says he's Mr. Endurance, he'll easily take out Kenny Omega. So they've challenged him to an Iron Man match. So let's see how this 30-minute Iron Man match goes. So if the matches were long already, what's this going to be like? Let's see if it delivers. I'm quite happy with that. It's not too bad. It was about to have some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. And it saw Sami Zayn defeat Kenny Omega in a 30-minute Iron match in exactly 30 minutes by 2 falls to 1. Sami Zayn wins the WWE Intercontinental Champion. So your former World Heavyweight Champion is not really in the title picture on SmackDown. So I thought, let's drop him down, let's give him a chance to run with it and put on some good matches. He had a good run as US Champ previously, but a B plus 86. Sami with 84 performance, Kenny 77. No skill improvements. I'm just a bit disappointed we can't seem to get Kenny Omega to get to that next level. I think IC title may be his peak. For some reason, in this mod, Kenny's just not there. But overall, happy with that. We then have a promo. Seth Rollins is just typing up his matchup with Triple H, explaining the whole feud so far. He just says he's been nothing but a nightmare. Seth wants to be champion, so he's going to take out the game once and for all. So that was an A92. We have then the hype video, just you would get your promo into your hype video documenting the whole feud since Triple H's return, which got a B plus 88. Triple H does a spectacular over-the-top entrance, which again A94, so we've got to make this game look absolutely strong. We've got to make him look, like he is the main man. Really promote this as a mega feud. And the match itself, absolutely fantastic. Fantastic heat, good wrestling, and Seth Rollins defeats Triple H in 1938 with God's Last Gift. So A92, Triple H was visibly tiring, so he's going to be going the way of the Undertaker. So we got to make use of Triple H again before he completely goes out the door like Taker. So he'll probably have another big match in him at Mania. Unsure who that'll be against. But a good performance here. Makes Seth look like $1 million. And as I say, Seth can go into the new year, hopefully chasing down a championship. But a good win there for him against Triple H. Great rating. I can't complain with that. Next up, we have Bo Dallas. Yep, so you've just had Triple H and Seth Rollins. Now you've got a match with Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas' performance was fantastic. He's hyping up his feud with Dolph Ziggler for the US Championship. He says, for too long, he was held down by Mojo Rawley. But he's going to Bo send to the top. He is going through a Bo evolution, and he is going to be the next United States Champion. He's going to show that, quite simply, Mojo held him back. So B plus 88 for Bo. How will his match up against Dolph go? Disappointingly, he's been getting A100 promos on Raws. So let's see how this does in the pay-per-view itself. Can him and Ziggler deliver? Let's see. Drumroll, please. And it's the same as their matchup at, I think it was the Grand Prix when they drew, but in this one it was a bout of great wrestling, good heat. Bo Dallas defeats Dolph Ziggler in 2016 by pinfall with a spear. Bo Dallas wins the US Championship. So the Bo send to greatness has begun. He is the US Champion. This is going to be awesomely Bo's champ. A90. Both guys put it out the park. We're bringing through that next generation because Bo's only going to be 28 in this save. And Ziggler's in a good position to make Bo look like $1 million. So Bo Dallas is our new US Champion. What do you guys think of that? Next we've got Randy Orton cutting a promo as we get ready for one of our World Heavyweight Championship matches. He says, Dean Ambrose is just one of these guys that's unpredictable, but he's going to show that he is the guy, you know, he is going to remain champion, and it may be one of the dangerous structures in the WWE. But he's a viper, he's a snake, and all he needs is an RKO, and that's the most dangerous weapon he needs. So A-star 100, storyline gains heat, good promo from Randy Orton. How will that matchup go? A92, it was an exceptional matchup, and it was Roman Reigns, I don't know how people feel about that, who defeated Rusev, Dean Ambrose, Zack Sabre Jr., AJ Styles and Randy Orton in the Elimination Chamber in 29 minutes and 11. Order of Elimination was first AJ, then Rusev, then Dean, then Zack Sabre Jr., then Randy Orton. I don't unfortunately have a power to change the order they go out, I don't believe. But Roman wins the championship, so another championship reign for Roman Reigns as he ascends on his road to greatness. Just felt it was time to put it on Roman. A92, he'll carry the SmackDown brand. Great performances, everybody there, even Zack Sabre Jr. at 93, probably cementing him into main event status. AJ88, considering he's on the way down because of his declining physical ability, going the way of Jericho, Taker, Triple H, and Rusev. As I say, he's not really been a main event guy, but I felt maybe this kind of matchup would help him. More than likely he'll drop back to the IC division. But overall, pretty happy with that. And because we like a curveball, after the matchup, Roman Reigns obviously been through this grueling elimination chamber. The chamber's still standing as obviously we need that for the Raw one. But of course, we have Mr. Money in the Bank. That guy has just defeated Undertaker, and he comes out with a referee, cashes in his Money in the Bank. It's the end of days in Roman Reigns, and Baron Corbin is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. We're playing hot potato with that championship, but it's given everybody that deserves it. Reigns with the championship. As I say, I think it's been 4 title changes in about 2-3 months, but Orton deserves title reigns. Reigns, we want to elevate him as one of the greatest ever in this save, so we need to give him a few quick reigns like we've done with Cena. Baron Corbin's been outstanding in this save, so he is a Money in the Bank holder. Sums up the perfect night for him, and it lets us push him as the main face of the SmackDown brand going forward. So obviously a Raw superstar, making the switch over to SmackDown as well now because he's their heavyweight champion. And yeah, just a 100 segment, absolutely brilliant. Next up, we've got the promo for the main event. So Kevin Owens comes out and says this is going to be his time to become WWE Champion. He's been US Champion, but he feels it's time to be WWE Champion. And he doesn't think that all this clamour and all this fans loving Daniel Bryan, you know what I mean, it's not Daniel Bryan's time, it's Kevin Owens' time, and if Daniel gets in his way, he's going to hurt him. So A90, the Raw Chamber, advances there. And that matchup as well was outstanding. Again, superb wrestling and great heat, but it did see Big Braun defeat KO, Daniel Bryan, The Miz, Big Cass and John Cena in a chamber match in 30 minutes and 59. Big Cass went first, then Cena, then The Miz, then Kevin Owens, and then Daniel Bryan. So Bryan was so close to becoming champion, but Braun makes the 6th defense of the championship a dominant reign. A92. Everybody with great performances there. Big Cass, unfortunately, went 90 in 84. Cena went 88 because he's declining physical ability. But it just shows going forward, Strowman's going to be a massive player. He already is. He's a champion, a dominant champion. Bryan's still at the top of his game. We've got people like The Miz and KO who are putting in good performances as well. So delighted with the A92. After the matchup, Braun Strowman holds his championship belt. It just says, "This is no fairy tale ending. This will never end. This is the everlasting reign of Braun Strowman as champion." And that's a B+88. And we end the show. Strowman just holding his championship up in front of all the crowd and doing his big roar and going Braun, as he's the champ, and that is your image as we cut to the back. So A93, Strowman was good there. And we finish Survivor Series with a solid A92. Felt like it could have been a little bit better, should have better promos to end the show there, but I feel done the job. You know, I feel the only thing that was negative was Baron defeating Taker, but obviously Taker's really declining. But you can see how stacked our main event scene is. A lot of good matches there, a lot of guys that are over, a lot of women that are over, and you can definitely see our upper mid card and mid card is certainly in a good position as well going forward. So I think Baron Corbin, will applaud him. Pains me to do this, but Taker, we'll criticise him, and I feel we'll go Trips. I think Triple H, a great performance. So Corbin was pleased. The Taker didn't, Undertaker didn't seem too concerned with my speech, and Triple H was pleased. So maybe a bit poor. We're still relying on those big names in 2018, but we do need to phase them out before, well, sooner rather than later, so we can kick on with the next generation of WWE superstars. So just a few databases get cleaning there as we head to December now. So say Survivor Series is good. The death of Dragon Gate. I sincerely doubt they'll want to do business. I will be. Oh, I was hoping they would, because if that was the case, they've got Punk, and I'd just love to sabotage his career completely for what he's done with Luke Harper. So keep an eye on that. They must have just declined down from maybe international to national. So let's see if there's anything here. Another World at the Weekend. Punk's heading for an injury. Just a case of Dragon Gate had a show but only had 3,000, nearly 4,000 people at it. Still a good show. Punk went 97 in the main event there. But as I say, we get fantastic reviews for our show. We get 48,000, so we know where in the world is peaking and is going to get us money. Finished first out of 2 in the US. We finished first out of 3 in Canada. Same in Mexico. And first out of 4 in Japan, so that's good. Naito has finished his tour with All Japan. Jay Lethal's going to go to All Japan. No point in keeping him on. I don't have anything for him. He'll probably going to have a good career, but I need to trim my roster. I don't have anything for him. Same with Jay Briscoe. I can't really use the Briscoe brothers because of the loyalty to ROH. That's only going to be a open contract anyway, so not really bothered by that either, to be honest. But a 3.79 buy rate, not the greatest, but it will get us a bit of money. May have been hampered because the Grand Prix was also on pay-per-view, but money, dollar, as Shane McMahon would say. Adam Cole's a star in the making, says Dean Ambrose. Chad Gable has a fan of in John Cena, and Bo Dallas Carl Anderson likes Aiden English. Of course, English was in that battle royal because Simon Gotch got suspended for trashing Roman Reigns' rental car on SmackDown. Always causing trouble, Mr. Simon Gotch. Overall, we do still have a lot of guys with morale issues. I'm not going to lie, a lot of these people don't get used. Kennedy came back, really doesn't get used. Nishimura's going to go. I don't really use Lesnar or Rousey. Haskins, Kane's a commentator. Very few of these get used. You know, if it comes to us, we'll spend big money. Prestige is at 100, Momentum is at 96. We made fantastic profit last month, 26 million. Okay, most of that is obviously pay-per-view revenue for 2 pay-per-view shows, but at the end of the day, it's not about. It's just obviously having money, which we don't really need. I created the Hydro as well, so spent a bit of money in that. In terms of getting this to an international company, it's just about having fun and booking this. So the size, not overly mattering at the moment, but we are mostly doing shows. I don't know if it shows in the UK at the moment because of the decline in the industry, and as I said in the States, we're in a good position. The show went well, and the championships hopefully have good prestige. So that's good to see. Check a few things before we finish because it's also been a long episode. Corbin's popularity back up in the 90s, so he looks like an absolute monster. 94 overness in Hawaii, so he's over as hell. That's good to see. I think Braun would be the same in terms of ownership. 91's across the board, 92's and 3's as well. So he's doing well. And just to help see how he's done, I'm really proud of this one as well. But Bo Dallas, I mean, look at that. The guy was a 40 overness this time last year. It's been a natural push from the tag division then into the US division. The guy has got 90s in some places, which is just, quite frankly, scary. So realistically, we could be looking at a Bo Dallas title run in 2019. That really does look like it could be possible, and we wouldn't even need our money in the bank to do it, which is great. So he's come on leaps and bounds. 27, so he's pretty much going to be the staple of this company going forward. But it's been a long episode so far. I'm going to get my ideas together for the 2-week build that we have until Raw's Armageddon, and then a 3-week build to TLC. I do have a few ideas of matches in mind for WrestleMania. 4 are booked in. I have that written down in paper. I know who's winning the Rumble as well. But everything else is up in the air. So if you've got any thoughts, guys, who you feel you'd like to see get pushed in the future, is there anyone you saw in that card today that you feel should be pushed higher? Is there anyone you didn't see that you feel like why they're not being used? Let me know on them as well. And do you feel that develops well in TW that you think I should sign that I haven't got already? If you let me know as well. And just general thoughts on, as I say, the show we had today and going forward. What would you have done differently as well? Would you have changed champion? Would you have booked a Money in the Bank win like that? Would you have had someone as having a successful night such as Baron Corbin? Apart from that, guys, I say any likes, subscriptions, etc. all appreciated as well. Any thoughts on your own saves, any questions in general about TW, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below or even tweet me at 21Maxwell. I'll do my best to get back to you as much as possible. Remember, the game's available on the Grey Dog software website, roughly about £25. A lot of mods on their forums as well, graphics, you name it, a lot of helpful information, as well as the Fantasy Booker subreddit on Reddit, and you can see a lot more YouTubers there with a lot of content regarding it being their YouTube stuff. You also get written stuff on there. There's also a few TW YouTubers you can follow that are also in my recommended section here on YouTube. But most importantly, guys, just keep enjoying the game. If I get my words together. We are closing in the 1-year anniversary of the game coming out. If I'm sure it was announced not long before WrestleMania, I think this time last year, we were firmly through the developer's diary from Adam Ryland. And Mania was meant to be the plan where I was taking my notepad with me and I was booking out my first year of it, and I booked a day. I literally booked the first show and a piece of paper, and that was it because Mania was good. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully, if it's not been already, you've enjoyed WrestleMania. I'm just going to be sad for the next couple of weeks because say this is before Mania, and obviously I'm not there this year, and quite simply last year was probably the best experience of my life. It was awesome. It really was unreal. If you ever get a chance to put money by and go to Mania, trust me, go to Mania. What a week. But apart from that, guys, thank you as always for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully we provided you a good bit of entertainment. If there is any kind of things you'd like to see with TW, anything a little bit different, maybe a save of a different company, maybe even a few things of like how certain aspects of the game work, maybe you're unsure of how television deals work or how you feel a certain way of bookings go. So anything you've got queries of, you'd like maybe like me to do in maybe a tutorial type series, let me know as well. I'll certainly see if I can find the time to do that. That's not a problem at all. If we can do that, we'll definitely look into it. But I say I'm here to help as well. If there is anything you want to see that I maybe don't explain greatly, you maybe want to see in a video type footage, certainly let me know. We can try and get it done as well. But most importantly, guys, please just enjoy the game. It is absolutely superb. If you're unsure, you're a little someone that's still stuck on EWR, you're unsure to make the jump. I was the same. I played EWR for 5-6 years, watched Total Team Talks videos, watched Rich videos, and bought the game. Haven't went back since. So definitely, if you're on EWR, tempted to give it a try. Download the demo, see how you feel, but honestly, once you play this, you won't want to go back. Complicated to start with, once you're into the swing of things, absolutely easy. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll stop blabbering on. And always and forever, keep it tight. Bye bye, guys.